Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all. Welcome back to Drama Time. I'm home. We're satiated. We've had a good old time. We've been traveling and now we're set in stone to be here for as long as humanly possible. And Drama Time can return to its regularly scheduled place here on a Friday at 4 p.m. UK time. These glorious people joining me here with their gavels at the ready to smash, crush, and destroy. We've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up for you. We've got ERP, we've got some etiquette, where our audience loves to paint a picture of what is the correct way to behave around other people. But Drama Time, once again, bring us all together. Be sure to check out our interview with Mr. Soken. I was fortunate enough, one of the reasons we didn't do drama last week is I spent some time with Mr. Soken down in London. It's great. It's really fun. You can find out what sneaky things Yoshi P has been up to, and all those kinds of things. But if you've ever, as we all have, played a multiplayer game in the online world and encountered some people behaving strangely in some weird and wonderful way, you could share that story with us at drama@preachgaming.com. Very simple to do, nice and easy, and we can have some fun as we're currently playing through Skyrim. If you've not kept up with what we're doing, first time ever. It has been a journey that will begin the next time we play with ritualistic slaughter. So it should be good. It should be good. All right, what have I got in front of me here this week? There's ERP, but I actually am more interested in this one that's waiting for us, because when it comes to etiquette, I think it's great to crowdsource. What is the correct way to manage certain aspects of online play? How can we behave in a good way and generally be great human beings to each other? Because we all understand that the acquisition of pixels is just not that important, and we can all treat each other with the kindness and respect on the understanding that if we all just stick together, we will eventually, of course, obtain all these things together as one, as a nice cohesive unit. And just trying to get it as fast as humanly possible and then dip on your friends is a terrible way to behave, and we would never do that. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't, would we? No. Heresy. My pixels, my shiny pixels. All right. Let's have some fun. Sod it. So I assume we're in World of Warcraft's Season of Discovery. That seems to be where we're heading. But let's see what it says. Preacher! Hello! And hello to your wonderful audience. That's you guys. And, of course, all of you listening on your various podcast services, be it Apple, Spotify, whatever it might be. You can find us there. I have begun a new adventure in the Season of Discovery. I miss Season of Discovery, man. God, that went off a cliff for me when they changed raiding. Am I the only one that Season of Discovery just drove into a wall and exploded? And I was like, I'm never touching this again. I played the crap out of that. I farmed the raids. It was really fun. And then it just went right off a cliff. Unbelievable. I decided to start a new adventure in Season of Discovery, and I found a raiding guild that welcomed fresh 60s. They would... Okay, we're having a bad start, ladies and gentlemen. The guild description is no rules, casual and easygoing. Well... aren't we all in for a great time? Because the last thing we want is any sort of order or structure to our guild environment. We're all just going to use the honor system. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work on the honor system and it's going to be fine. Mike, when I joined, all was going super well. I got geared up and was able to clear Naxxramas. And the inciting incident actually started in the small raid from an older phase of Season of Discovery, Encourage 20-man. Did they... I don't know if we've got any Season of Discoverers here, if we've got any Discovery people. Did they include the spell books and shit in AQ20? Was that a thing? I don't remember a mount dropping in Season of Discovery, in AQ. Obviously, there was the bugs, but they just were acquired. They were only 40, man, if I remember. I know I got loads of them. I never got the red one. Or did I? I can't remember. Yeah, so I don't remember a mount in AQ20. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, In Season of Discovery, there are various hard modes that can be activated in raids to increase the drops, or in some cases, add a mount drop. Is this true? They put a big red button in? I'm kind of curious now. They added hard mode, optional hard modes. That's kind of funny. I'm getting more curious about Season of Discovery, and we cannot stream that. In Arc 20, if you cleared every boss with hard modes, the final boss is guaranteed to drop 100% riding Silithid mounts of various colours. So is this one of the bugs that drops then? One of the battle tanks that you would get from the 40-man? When it says Silithid mounts, I'm guessing it's one of the insects. It was very, very cool. So, we clear the raid. I roll a 100 on the mount. I am overjoyed, my friends. But, this occurred in an all-guild raid. I already have an epic mount. So I figure I'll sell the new mount to anyone who doesn't already have an epic mount for 500 gold. Let's pause here. Thoughts? He's won the role. He's not going to use it. And he's going to sell it to someone in the raid, in the guild raid. I haven't read on, and there's more to be discussed here, but I will say this off my initial gut feeling, based on the information we have right now. Guilty. Selling shit that's dropped in a guild raid. Rolling on mounts you don't want. Double guilty. Double guilty. Not a fan. I am not a fan of people claiming loot to then sell it to other guildies. That I'm not okay with. I don't think that guild rules with no rules. Are you technically okay with doing this? Yes. Seemingly, you are technically alright with doing this. I would genuinely not want you in any of my other raids, though. That's what I would say. I do not want you in my raid again if you're going to be rolling on loot and then trying to sell it to other people. I also have to imagine the people doing these hard modes were hoping to get the mounts. Okay, let's see what comes on. I thought that normally in the game, getting an epic mount costs 900 gold. So whoever bought it from me was actually getting a good discount. Uh-huh. So you're doing them a favor. You're doing them a favor. Oh, yeah, I'm doing them a favor. Okay. My guildie Helix was willing to pay for the mount and didn't have an epic mount. They were a pretty popular person in the guild and well-liked. Another guildie, Mad Payfish, voiced displeasure at the time in chat that it was a slimy thing to sell the mount, but they were the only person who said anything. It was also only directed at me and not the person who was willing to buy it. Well, yeah, because you're the one who's selling it. Of course it's directed at you. What are you talking about? Who else would it be directed? Yeah. So I went ahead and sold the mount. Helix, who paid for it, was ecstatic. Not so for Mad Payfish. I was not messaged about it or anything, and the Helix who paid for it never got heat for it. Many resets pass, and I think that the matter was dealt with at the time and closed for all concerned. Well, turns out it wasn't. A few weeks ago, sign-ups for the raid get posted, and Helix notices it's moved up an hour till 10 PM. Their time, with no notice at all. Helix freaks out in the Discord about how crappy it is to change raid times by an hour, especially without any notice. I agree. An officer in a guild said it is due to daylight savings time. I don't care either way, but I agree it sucks that it'd be 11 PM for me to start raiding. And since the raid never pulls on time, it sucks even more. Helix quit the guild based on this. That seems a bit extreme. And several others. And I think that is that. Quitting the guild over it. That's a bit much. Who is organising raids at 9 PM anyway? Or 10 PM or 11 PM? What? Yeah, there's something deeper going on here. If that feels like final straw type situation to me. Where it's like, oh, fuck this. Like, that's what this feels like. It just feels like, oh, for fuck's sake. No, I'm not even doing it. It's not finished yet. The next day, I log in. I am guildless and poor. I am also banned from the Discord. I'm sat looking at my screen thinking there's no way. But I had been G-kicked. I got to message the GM of the guild. Why, bro? I told him I had no problem with the raid time change, so why was I kicked? Quite matter-of-factly, shout out to the GM, I was given 2 reasons. First was the mount. He said my cards had been marked the day I sold it and it did not sit right with the rest of the guild. This had never been mentioned to me before. Second, that I in general was far too negative. This is actually fair. I got pissed off about the late starts and dumb wipes, and I would typically type it all out in chat. A third reason was then given, is that I would ironically say guild first in G-chat, which was a reference to how few times we would get to actually kill the final boss of raids because of our late starts and dumb wipes. Okay, you're not coming off well here, Arthur. I'm just going to put it out there. You're really not coming off well in this story. I pretty much understood points 2 and 3. But the mount thing, I didn't understand. I didn't think it was wrong to sell the mount to a guildie who didn't have an epic mount, as I classified the item as a cosmetic, and I needed gold for materials. Oh dear. Mike, I should explain to you why I needed gold so badly, which is why I sold the mount. Okay. I needed tier 3 from Nax. And to get that, you needed some raw materials to turn in for the tier. I was lucky enough the previous raid to get 3 tier tokens, but cured rugged hide was expensive, Mike. And I needed loads of it. I spent all my gold, but still could only get 2 of the pieces made, and if I made the last piece, I could get the 6-piece tier bonus. Anyway, the guildmaster said no, it's a convenience item. And then said, good luck, have fun. Alright, there's more coming here. What do we I think this is kind of fair, to be honest with you, mate. I think this is kind of fair. Yeah. Everybody needs gold. Everybody needs gold. And the fact that I've got raiders who are... Here's the thing, dude. You're complaining that people are late and stuff, which I'm not late regardless, but making your raid all have epic mounts will speed that up significantly. Just putting that out there is... They're farming this to try and get that mount that they obviously can't afford. I don't know how much money 900 gold is in Season of Discovery these days, but if it's still relatively vanilla, it's a lot without like mega farming. I know some people did it like day 2 of Season of Discovery launching and did all their friggin' like Nax rep and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of people did not do that. Anyway, Mike, it didn't stop there. A day later, I get this in the mail from him on a banking alt. Guilty? I don't know. Or is he feeling guilty? All I know is I'm still guildless and poor that has to pug at least for one lockout. Here's the mail. From the Guildmaster. Subject, hey. The message is as follows, my friends. I really liked you, but an example had to be made if there's anything out of the G-Bank you feel you over-donated recently. I will send it back so you have some gold or something to donate for your new guild. See ya. That's the end. I imagine people listening to this are going to have different takes on it, especially because as far as I understand it, a lot of vanilla is gold-based. In fact, Blizzard tried to step in, or did step in, right, to stop the fact that people were just buying gold constantly to just buy gear and do GDKP runs over and over again. Understanding GM, yeah, but SOD is swimming in gold. I personally, regardless of circumstance, the only time I have ever received gold for a mount was from Crusher for the Brutasaur, which I think he gave me 1 million gold for it. Because it was 5 mil at the time or something like that. And I got given one for free that I was supposed to use. And Crusher said, I'll buy it for 1 mil. And he knows I don't care too much about mounts. So I said yes. That's the only time. Other than that, I think if it drops in a guild raid and you're... Here's my personal thoughts. And I think that's reflected in a lot of things we've done. If you don't want it, don't roll on it. And one of the reasons I originally left Method was because people were rolling on loot and then trying to sell it to trials. Like, not just mounts, but loot in general. Like, that's my personal thoughts. Like, if you don't want it, even if it's cosmetic, don't roll on it. Because I just think it's scummy. There are people in guilds. I think we've all met people in any online game who care, let's say, more than you about certain things by a long way. And are almost kind of next level about it, let's put it that way. And they don't see it as just a silly thing like a mount. They see it in a very, very different manner. And I know I see some things like that, and I would like that respect repaid to me in some way, shape, or form. So I disagree. Yeah, I don't think you should be selling things that have dropped in a guild endeavor to the guild. I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't like it. I would have kicked you there and then. I would have take your mount and fuck off. Get out of here. All right, let's have some ERP. It's put a bad taste in my mouth, that one, actually. Yeah, it's put a bad taste. Oh, God. All right, ladies, I don't know where this is going, so I'm just saying. A woman visits Goldshire. So I'm assuming this is a real lady. A woman visits Goldshire. We don't need names, yes. To be fair... Having spoken with more than one woman who plays games over the years, a lot of them have revealed that they're quite into the ERP. You filthy bastards. It is surprising how many of the girls quite enjoy the... yeah. I mean, I'm pretty serious. I'm pretty serious about that. A lot of the girls I spoke to, not all of them, have revealed... that they quite enjoy a bit of ERP because they're safe and they can be gross. All right, let's see where our lady goes here. A little brief warning. Bex has said this is safe for the stream. This might get disgusting. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. All right, here we go. Preacher, the chat, and the almighty Bex. A few weeks ago... You mentioned, during a drama show, you mentioned how when you got to ERP places in MMOs, you have to assume that all the people there are guys. Well, that's not true. I wanted to share with you my brief ERP experience. And Mike, I want you to know this is all your fault that I decided to do this in the first place. Okay, I want to be absolutely clear on this. I did not request that the girls go ERPing and report back to me. That never happened. I did not send you on a mission. There wasn't a scouting report. We didn't have a brief. We didn't do anything. We didn't debrief. I did not request that in any way. No, I'm not taking that responsibility. That is ridiculous. There is no way. My husband discovered your channel all the way back in the Battle for Azeroth, and we would watch Drama Time together on the YouTubes while eating dinner or something. Enjoy your food. Nom, 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 nom. Thanks to you, we had many laughs, and we discovered that we were in a cesspool guild. Please tell me you had like a piece of chicken or some pasta going into your mouth at the time when I described what a cesspool guild and that like realization hit you. I just wanted this image of you spitting like tomato sauce or something like all over the carpet. Shit, we're in a cesspool guild. At the start of the Shadowlands, we left along with the other ahead of the curve capable players and made our own raid team. Oh my fucking god, could you not have waited till the end of the story? So you left and made your own guild, a new guild with better things, right? We used your Drama Time as a guidance, or more appropriately, a manifesto. I'm already getting a lot of shit here. And I am not being blamed for all your mistakes, all right? You're adults. That's not on me. One of the things we learned from Drama Time is that being a clicker is bad. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Clicking can work, but not clicking is better. Every time, universally. My husband declared that he was going to make the switch to keybinds. And then, a month later, declared once... I love that he's making these declarations like he's putting his leg up on the couch. And he declared that keybinding is indeed better. So now, I was forced to switch. I spent 2 months following your advice, leveled 2 alts of the same class to learn how to keybind before I was comfortable enough. But I am so glad I did. Thank you, Mike. That's a couple that I saved, right? That relationship is fucking rock solid because of me. Yeah? Pair of keybinders. Like it, yeah? Another big fucking chalk up on the board for me. But then... okay. But then we're around 4 or 5 months into Season 1 of Shadowlands. And you left, Mike. You abandoned us. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I taught you to walk so you could run. Why don't we look at it with that positive spin? If you think about it that way, then, you know, that's... I didn't give up on you. I didn't give up. At this point, I had achieved ahead of the curve sooner than ever. I had heroic raiding on farm. I had learned to keybind. I had timed a 10 of every M+ dungeon. I believe 15s at the time gave max rewards, but getting all 10s was amazing for me. I had never thought I could get good enough to accomplish all of this, and Season 2 was nowhere near in sight. So, because of you, Mike, and your shitty Drama Time, you had made the game boring for me. What kind of feedback is that? You haven't done 15s. You've not tried Mythic. You're essentially dog shit still, right? Fucking heroic. My cock could do heroic when I'm thinking about Rolf Harris. Gross. What are you talking about? You've got an endless fucking road to go on. Fucking heroic and 10s. You're shit. You're bad, you're shit, and you should get better. Are you glad I left now? Yeah? Are you glad you left now? You fucking peasant. Because I know I'm being shit on here. Let's refocus. Let's get going. Around this time, me and my husband and I were watching Drama Time on YouTube, and you did an episode about Goldshire on the Moonguard server. I don't remember what happened in the episode exactly. I just remember thinking, why do people even bother to ERP in a video game when porn and dating apps all exist? You know what? I think the same thing. I don't get it either. But it's not for me. But then it dawned on me. I had a realization. A brilliant light shone down on me. In World of Warcraft, you could be completely anonymous. And in World of Warcraft, there must be some real weirdos there. Yeah. Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. People who have bizarre kinks and feel safer exploring them from the safety of their monitor. Something stirred inside me. A burning curiosity. You need some cranberry. And I became consumed by it. I had to know about the really weird stuff. If your relationship broke up, that's not because of me. I'm just saying, if you're divorced by the end of this because you found some like unlocked kink or whatever, I'm just saying that's not on me. That is nothing to do with me, that you like opened your mind to all these weird things that were going on. I slowly turned to look at my husband and announced, I want to go and check out Goldshire ERP. How does one, those of you in a relationship of some description, knowing what you know, how do you respond to this coming from your partner? I wish to go and try Goldshire ERP. I kind of think I'd be like, okay, we have to do this together. Yeah. We gotta look. If you let's go and check this out. Right? If we're gonna check it out, let's check it out. Yeah, like if we're going in, we're going in. All right, let's open this door together. Let's hold hands. Let's step through it. Let's find out what's going. Unsure of what the response would be, he turned to me and gave me an amused look, and then a disappointed sigh. The only words to come from his mouth were, just make sure you charge enough when you dance on the tables. I had no clue what that meant or how much gold was enough. Okay, have you just... Okay, I have an editor's note here from Bex in nice big red text. Let's play a game with chat. Guess the kink she discovered. I'm gonna go with furries is a bit obvious. Feet feels like a little tame for the people who are into this, depending on how deep she goes. Daddy, mommy, that was very popular with the D-gens a while ago. Yeah, I guess there's the piss orc of Skyrim, Clark the piss orc. I'll go with water sports. I'll go there. Yeah, there's quite a lot. Gnomes is up here. Degradation. Yeah, there's quite a lot. I think most people... I'm 99% sure that my Twitch chat just basically filled in all the keywords for Pornhub, like, in a matter of seconds. So, round of applause to you guys. Praise be. Praise be. I'm pretty sure you just filled that in, like, yeah, you did really, really well. Well done. Mike, his response made me sad. Oh. He was so readily okay with me going off to hang out with the ERPers. It made you sad that he's like, okay, yeah, go and virtually. I mean, I can see where you're coming from. Like, yeah, sure, go and virtually fuck people, I guess. If that's what you're into. Because he's already done it. He's projected. He's like, well, if she's doing it, I get to do it, right? If she's doing it, I'm totally okay. I was also a little relieved, though, to have some permission and not sneak around to find out what this world was all about that you had made me interested in. Stop putting this on me. You're an adult. You're an adult, okay? This is nothing to do with me under any circumstances, right? So, while hubby was working on parsing in his mythic raid guild, I logged into Moonguard to make my character. All right, what are you choosing? You're into. Okay, let's dispense with the weirdness. We're going on a research mission, right? That's what we're doing. We've got a journal, a backpack, probably contains a compass, a pen, a quill, probably with some ink in it, and a tricorder from Star Trek. What character are we making on our investigatory mission of the ERP side of World of Warcraft? Gnome, Void Elf, Draenei female, Draenei female, Draenei female, Draenei, Gnome female, Blood Elf, Draenei. Okay. You guys got some sort of goat fetish? What's going on here? Because she totally made a Draenei female. What is going on with the goat ladies? Don't ask. I don't know why I'm asking the questions. I have no idea. I decided that being a naked level 1 human at the inn was really boring. I could do better. I could be classy. So I made a light forged Draenei priest. And then, in order to add some flair, I did some quick Chromie Time BFA questing for Transmog Gold. What is classy about a cloven-hoofed woman? Why is that classy? I don't get it. Why would that be classy? Like, Mr. Tumnus is not classy. It's not the word that comes up when I think of the tumnus on the move, right? It's all in the hooves, baby. It's all in the hooves. I don't know. Let's keep going. I sold a lot of my random crap and ended up with about 200 gold, and I transmogged my chest piece into one of those dresses from Legion that looks like a crop top and a skirt. I don't know the one. If we get any links in the chat, I'll check it, but it sounds kind of slutty. Oh, we don't need to check it. It was a very cute slut mog, in my opinion. And then I began my journey to Goldshire. I hadn't made it inside the inn before I received my first message in the pink. Moonguard Goldshire? Question mark. Fuck. It was from one of my friends. I had not set my battle nat to offline. Busted. Busted. Absolutely busted before you got to the inn. Oh, turbo busted. Absolutely busted. What are you doing there? Oh, fuck. I thought quickly on my feet and said, I'm just going to check it out like a tourist. I then quickly changed my online status to offline. I didn't want anyone else to notice. Pretty much all my Battle.net friends know that I am married. Oh yeah, I'm sure they won't mention it to anyone else, whoever they were. Also, you may know who your creeper is, who was checking your online location and server out of the blue. Not to throw a spanner in your friendship. Just thought I'd do that. Hey, look, I've received a lot of shit in this Drama Time story. I'm fucking firing some cannonballs back. That's all I'm saying. Your secret is safe with me, my lady. Right? My friend typed to me, cool, just remember to keep an open mind. And have fun smiley face. Huh. They're in Noah. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Uh-oh. Okay. He also brought up make sure you charge enough gold. I remember thinking at the time, I can't figure out why the guys wanted me to charge gold on a server that I don't play on. It's part of the fantasy. I wasn't exactly planning on spending a lot of time there or raiding, so I wouldn't need gold for consumables. Aw. Aw. Bless you. Oh, bless you, little cottons. Oh, bless. You got this little naivety. I like it. And I remember thinking that gold wasn't server transferable, but whatever. Maybe if I made enough gold, I could buy a WoW token or something. But I didn't think of that at the time. And gold was not my goal. Now, okay. Preach. This is for you. Okay, what have I done now? Before you get too uncomfortable, yes, I am going to tell you what happened at the inn. I am not going to give you 100% of the details because you won't be able to read it. But I promise you you'll probably survive what's about to happen. I would be amazed if anything you put in the story can beat some of the stories we've had, but we're always open to the challenge, right? I mean, I don't know what the most extreme thing an ERP has sent us, but there was people who were getting sat on by someone who was a druid who changed into a bear and was inserting gnomes into their arse, and people were playing it. Yeah, there was that one. There was a whole thing going on with that one. The spider one. Yeah, the spider one was pretty mad. Yeah, the spider one was pretty...
Sparkly Fen's got to be up there.
Yeah, Sparkly Fen. Is that the tag to find that story?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. If you're interested in that story, Sparkly Fen on preachgaming.com. That's lesbian spider sex. That's on preachgaming.com under the drama time. Search Sparkly Fen. Anyway, I made my way into the inn. And I'll be honest with you guys. When I entered Goldshire Inn, I suddenly felt shy and nervous about what was going on. I didn't know how this all worked. I stepped into the room just enough to be inside, and I parked my character and waited. I figured I would let somebody else initiate. Going submissive, I see. The place was packed. Naked characters of all races filled every corner of the room. One corner had a lot of Worgans and pandas. I wonder what's going on in that corner. A void elf and a night elf were dancing on the tables, while male characters sat in the chairs watching. About 2 minutes I was in there, and I received a whisper in the pink. Hi. A death knight. Ooh. I looked around the room for the DK that had whispered me, but couldn't find them right away. I then remember thinking, I wonder if there's a faster way to find randoms who whisper you. I still don't know to this day. Hello? I responded. He didn't say anything for a moment, and I finally found him. A fully clothed dwarf death knight. Standing right behind me. His face was eye level with my character's arse. Do you want to do a scene? He asked. A dwarf and a Draenei. How does that even work? I wondered to myself. I know some guys are into female gnomes and even dwarves, but I have yet to hear of a woman say she thinks dwarves are hot. But I kept that all to myself, because this is what I was here for. Sure. Then silence. He never said anything. I waited and waited. I decided to send him, I don't think it's Stash. I decided to send him a message. So, how do we start? To which he immediately responded with, I don't know. I have never done this before, just heard about it. I was tempted to ask if he had recently watched a drama time from you, and that's why he was here. But instead, I said, neither have I. Fuck you. I am not the reason that Goldshire is full of people e-fucking. It was long before I came along, man. I am totally not. Because that means it's all you guys. You understand you're throwing yourselves under the bus. You understand that, right? It's all you guys that are in there. Like, oh, well, we'd never even heard about this until you, Mike, and now we've been there. An awkward moment passed then, and I rolled my eyes and decided he was just like the boys in high school. Oh, no. And that I needed to take charge. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We're going in. He's all fingers and thumbs. He's gonna need a guy to get a bra off. It's all gone pear-shaped. I'm sure we can figure it out. I hit the send key, and 5 seconds later, he logged out. Fuck yeah. My man got what he needed. Gangster. And dipped. Fucking done. American pied like a motherfucker. Done. As soon as you said, I'm sure we can figure it out, just boom. Mount Vesuvius. Nailed it. Out of there. Finished early and left. Actual high school maneuver. I love it. I was relieved. I didn't want to ERP with a dwarf. Wow. 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 Oh, wow. Okay, this is not immersive enough for me. You know, I'm just not... The images in my mind aren't quite there. It's not where I need this to be by any means. But now I felt awkward. It hadn't occurred to me that I wouldn't be the only clueless person in here. So off I went to Google. In my research on Reddit... Oh, no. This is so not my fault. I discovered all kinds of wonderful things. The first thing that I found was that they used add-ons for this kind of thing. One that recommended was TRP, Total Roleplay. Roleplayers use it to write background tales for their characters like D&D. You can also put in there whether you like to be approached in character or out of character. Okay, you're all throwing yourselves right under the bus. You all know the add-on. Oh, yeah, that's the right add-on. And really, anything you can think of can be added within the add-on. I installed TRP and went to log back in to Moonguard for round 2. I must have still felt a little awkward because I spent a few minutes making a brand new character. Okay, so we're leaving the cloven hooves behind. What's our next angle? We seem to be attracting dwarfs. Where are we going? Oh, you're actually like, you guys have really been through this process, eh? Well, it's a void elf, actually. We're going void. Yeah, we're off to the shadows, my friends. We're going void elf. I made myself a cute void elf warlock. You are embracing being a dummy mommy, aren't you? You found your kink already. You have fully found your kink. You are now... you have fully found... Oh, I kind of like this, actually. I get to take charge. A void elf warlock with a purple dress and purple hair. You made a Zalitos. You made Zalitos. That's what you did. It took you 10 minutes to end up as a Zalitos. Then I spent a whole hour getting sidetracked in Stormwind, just reading what people had put into their TRP add-on. That's a stream. Chris! We're going to need a sub goal. That's a stream. Some folks have entire short stories in there. It's like a whole other world within World of Warcraft. I was honestly tempted to maybe join a roleplay guild at this point, but first I had a mission. I needed some e-sex. So back to the Goldshire Inn I went. I have a genuine question for some of the knowers in the chat. Is it all just happening at Goldshire, or is Goldshire Inn like the class discords where there's a ton of hidden places, but you're not invited there until you prove your worth? Like, everybody knows to go to Goldshire Inn. Nobody knows about what goes down in Casmodan, though. That's the real shit down there, but you need to be, like, promoted to get in there. Like, that's Silvermoon, allegedly. Of course, this is all alleged locations. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering if, like, Goldshires go to, like, get your early levels, but once you establish yourself, you get invited to the real shit, which is, like, probably in a garrison, actually. I could see a garrison. Like, you need to be invited to, like, Preacher's Garrison, where I walk around in one of them Hugh Hefner robes just with shit going on. That sounds like the place to be. Yeah. Garrisons are, like, safe spaces. Let's get back on track. Around half of the people in the inn use TRP. Most people wrote in there whether they're male or female. Okay. How old they were. And whether they're interested in men or women. The girls dancing on and around the tables had prices listed for their services. And there were definitely, now I discovered, furry orgies happening in that one corner. What else did you think was going on in that corner? What the fuck? Where all the Worgans and the pandas are? What do you think's happening in that corner? They're discussing the best, like, eucalyptus trees and shit? What do you mean? I didn't know it for sure, because they would be doing it in Whisper or Group, but based on their backstories, I had a pretty good feeling I knew what was happening there. One dude had a very, very lengthy description of his stallion-sized dingaling that smelled musky. Ew. What the fuck? You've got musky cock? And now I picture you've got a cock with Elon's face on the end. Very musky. Yeah, that's Gary. We all know Gary. We all know Gary. Yeah, Gary's a classic. Oh, Gary? Yeah. Ah, that guy. Yeah. I decided to stay clear of him and his musky cock. And I parked my character just a little further in the room than last time. Oh, he went a couple of more steps in. After looking around how other people were using TRP, it was time for me to write my own. 28 female, interested in men, new to roleplay. I received a whisper the second I pressed enter. Whoop, 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 whoop. Fresh meat alert, fresh meat alert. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's all going off. I looked around and found the male Void Elf warrior that was talking to me. In his TRP, he also had prices listed for his services, but he never mentioned any of that. He said he could teach me the ropes because I had said I was new. I said, okay. His first question was, what is your kink? And his second question was, are you looking for a night of splendor, classy, or a long-term relationship? I'm going to admit something to you now, Mike, because this story is anonymous. I had no idea what the word kink meant. Aww. What makes that moment worse for me is I asked him what kink meant. But very politely. Can we give a name to this guy? Who's going to be our super stud guidance here in this story? I'm going to go with Crazy Jack, actually. No, I'm going to throw Crazy Jack in here. Yeah, we haven't got a name for this one. I'm going to go with Crazy Jack. I think a Welshman would be... I think Crazy Jack the Welshman would be the perfect player for this moment. I could see Jack, like, taking this on the chin and making it work. He said he explained what kink was to me. I then felt very vanilla. And I told him I don't really have a kink. I'm just here for the experience. And I'm certainly not looking for anything long term. He said that's fine. Sometimes it takes a while for the kink to come through. And he told me his kink was being a dom. I did know what this meant, but I told him I'm not really a dom or a sub, but I can pretend to be a sub for the night. Oh no. Now then. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Mike, we ended up talking for over an hour and a half, and I was really having a lot of fun. During our little chat, I received several whispers from other guys too. I quickly realized why some people just had tabbed out in their TRP, that many people talking to you at once gets confusing and overwhelming. At one point, a rogue whispered hi to me, and in my haste, I accidentally /replied to him, I'm dripping. Well, which I was trying to send to the Dom Warrior Crazy Jack. I quickly followed up with, I'm sorry, wrong chat. But the rogue wouldn't leave me alone after that until I blocked him. That rogue's like, fucking winner. Dude, I scored so hard. Oh, please talk to me more. Please. Oh, poor guy. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. No. You were whispering me. You totally were. As the warrior and I were finishing up, an hour and a half. Fuck that. Fuck it. Who's got time for that? An hour and a half. What is this? Jesus Christ. I'm not 20 anymore. An hour and a half. He suggested that I add his character as a friend. I figured, sure. Why not? And added him. He then made a very sexual comment about my black skin on my character, and it sounded like he thought I was black-skinned IRL. While I was making my Void Elf, I discovered that Blizz had added darker skin tones to their customizable options, so I made a black elf thinking she was pretty. However, I am white as fuck in real life. I began to panic in case I had broken some unwritten roleplay etiquette. I may have calmed down enough to ask him about it, but the next thing he said made me panic even more. He said, good night, I love you, and logged off. How good were you at ERP? I mean, you were dripping, obviously, and that was midway through the conversation, so God knows where you went from there. I was in full panic. He thinks I'm black. He loves me after ERPing for an hour and a half. And now he's telling me he loves me. So I quickly logged off and deleted the character. Did you tell your husband what you did? You think it was the husband? That would have been interesting. A couple of days later, though, I couldn't help but think about what had happened, and I had some free time. So I decided to head back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Still a research mission, right? Still curiosity at this point, right? Yeah? Yeah, still curiosity. Sure. While the Dom Warrior was fun until that end bit, he was actually pretty normal. I was still on a mission to find out about the weird stuff you had talked about in drama time. No. No. Absolutely frigging not, bro. Like, ain't no way. No, you went back for more. You know why you went back. I bet you were in work thinking it was kind of cool. So I made myself a new void elf, pale as fuck, and blonde head. And used my Lightforged Draenei once in a while too. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, do you live here now? You made a new character and used your Draenei once in a while. So you just became like a full-time ERPer after this, is what you're telling me, alright? As I was chatting with different people, I find out the question, what is your kink and what are you wearing? Pretty standard and lame by this point. Oh, you are so seasoned now. Okay. I enjoyed people who asked me more specific questions. What do I look like IRL? My hair color, eye color, my height and weight, my bra size, cup size, and band size? What is he fucking doing, a mugshot? What the fuck? It's profiling. A part of my female brain obviously didn't want to tell him what I look like. But then I wondered if it's a societal thing I learned from older women. Not wanting to... Are you saying it's boomer to tell strangers on the internet your description? I really like my buddy, so I told him I'm blonde, blue eyes, 5'3", 140 pounds with 36 double D boobs. That is a wrecking ball of action going on there. Oh my. There was no pause on his end. Oh, there was a pause on his end. So after a while, I asked him if he wanted to talk about kinks or do a scene or what are we doing here? Oh my God, you lost patience so quickly. Mike, this was the first time I realized that I was sharing too much information with the people of Moonguard. I swear to you all, this is what he typed. To be honest with you, I just came when you told me what you look like, so I'm good. How down bad are you that the description of a woman is enough? You have to be pretty down bad for like, I'm good. That's rough, man. That's rough. My emotions were at war. On the one hand, I was sort of flattered, but I also felt very naive. It hadn't occurred to me that some of these guys were jerking off. What do you think they're doing? And certainly not jerking off before we'd even got into anything. Surely they would be waiting until we got the story going. They are got dick in hand before they hit the login button. They are prepped. But then it occurred to me, why wouldn't they be? Technically, they're in the privacy of their own home. Before I came up with a response, he said, I think I can go again. Saved! Whoa. No, I can go again. We're good. We got this, dude. Fucking got to pick yourself up, right? You got to get off that floor. Like Rocky. It doesn't matter how hard you jerk it. It's about how hard you could jerk it the second time. Shout outs to our new neighbours downstairs. I'm sure they're figuring things out. So I ended up chatting with him a while longer to see if he had any weird kinks. He seemed very vanilla and was not useful for my research project. If you fucking call this a research project again, I swear I will fucking come to your house and turn your PC off. You are no longer researching, alright? I had to delete that character too, though. Because after 20 minutes, this guy started telling me that I was the perfect woman and that we should meet IRL. They're all falling in love. As I was getting ready to call it a night, I had another guy offer me to join him in Discord so I can listen to him jerk off. You are keeping your husband up to date on this, right? Because there are definitely lines that feel like they're being stepped right now. Your relationship is your relationship. You do you. But, like, I want to let all the guys listening to this know, don't do that to a girl you've only been talking to for 5 minutes. We're emotionally driven and probably won't like your dick unless they've already decided they like you as a person. The same goes for dick pics. I don't think you, right now, personally, have the moral grounding to judge other people as an educator. Just putting it out there. Like, you've definitely gone down. You're the one who's telling strangers that you're dripping. And now you're trying to, like, you know, help out other people. I'm just saying, you know, there's a pot kettle and I'm not sure what color it is, but it's not white. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You'll have better chances with girls that you emotionally connect with. Pfft, I'm an emotional safe. Can't crack this beast. But it happened. I found a guy who had an interesting kink. I found the solution, or the research that I was looking for. The conversation began with the usual, what's your kink? What are you wearing? And he told me that his kink, I don't think any of you guessed this. Anybody want to take another stab? It's actually not full degen. It begins with an L. It's not full degen. It begins with an L. Is how I would describe this. And I can totally see this because it is very nice. Not lesbians, not legs, no. No, not licking, not lactating. So you 2 degen. Bring it back. Bring it back. Leggings, closer. Bring it back to something relatively tame. Lactation? What? Milking tits is bringing it back? What are you doing? Listening? Nah, too far, me. That's, nah. Lingerie! There we go. Lingerie. Shout outs to that. I don't think lingerie is considered a kink. Lingerie just looks awesome. Lingerie. High heels and fancy bras in particular. That is very normal. I wouldn't class it as a kink. Lingerie, classic, lovely lingerie. Looks awesome. I'm a big fan myself. Which I know isn't that unusual. But then he wanted to say, oh, wait, that was not the kink. Fuck. That's my bad. I didn't read ahead. Yeah, lingerie is his okay. That's my bad. Lingerie was the lingerie was the introduction to the kink. Which isn't that unusual. I didn't read ahead because I read this bit and Bex put a note here saying here's the kink. But then he went on to say, oh, you would never have guessed. Oh, what? Yeah, you guys would never have. I could have give you to the end of fucking time. You would never have guessed this. If you can get close. No, there's no way I can give you a clue to this. You're still not going to guess it. I'm just going to tell you. Yeah, it's too bizarre. He then went on to say that he liked to imagine that the shoes and bras had mind control powers that made a girl horny when she put them on. And that the bras sprouted dicks and fucked the girl with her boobs. So elaborate. Huh. I mean, it's specific. I don't think that's a category you can search for on Pornhub, actually. He didn't tell me this all at once. He had a nice way of building the scene. And I have to say, in his storytelling, he included me a lot along the road to get where we eventually ended up. This is a seasoned veteran of ERP who knows that look, if I tell you where we're going, you're not going to want to come. All right? I don't mean it in that way. You're not going to want to join me on this journey. We have to go some baby steps to get there because it's going to get real fucking weird. So it's really all about, we'll do an inch each time and eventually we'll walk a mile, right? That's how we're going to do this. He'd kind of start and then ask me what should happen next. And then he would make up the next part and then ask me what should happen next. But he was definitely guiding us in a certain direction. So then your shoes, they make you feel a certain way, right? And then what happens when you put the shoes on? Do you feel horny? He was the first person I talked to that actually made me feel like I had an equal part in building the fantasy of the world. Oh my God, his penmanship was crisp. Absolute author. Rocking it. He was so considerate. He was so creative. Even though his kink was fucked up beyond all recognition. And I wasn't into it. He was really fun to talk to. So I decided to add him as a friend, and I ERP'd again with him a few days later. However, it happened again. The second time, he told me he really needed an open-minded girl like me for his fantasies. And then I remembered that I am married and shouldn't let anyone get emotionally attached to me or me to them. I was just here for the research experience. I feel like your bean has been fucking baked bean at this point. In retrospect, for more weird stories, I should have talked to the furries or the guy with the much too lengthy dick description, but they were a bit freaky and full on from their storytelling. With so many guys telling me so quickly I love you and you're the perfect girl for me, I decided that my time in Goldshire was at an end. I already knew this, but I also decided that the grass is not greener on the other side. Me and my husband have a much better deal going. I did tell him some details about what went down in Goldshire. He didn't really want to know everything. No shit. My wife started telling me about the fucking... No, I'm not into that. That's fucking up. So I decided not to ERP anymore and decided to trial for a mythic raid guild. Oh, from one rabbit hole to another, just jumping from one grave into another one. We've been there ever since, and I have never gone back to Goldshire. Thank you for reading our story, and thank you for doing Drama Time all these years. P.S. I don't know how the bra dicks could reach the girl. I imagine the chat could try and figure out what he was trying to describe to me. I mean, they must just be very long. And there's two of them. So, you know, lots going on. Round of applause. We thank you for your service and sacrifice of engaging in the ERP world on our behalf. It made perfect sense to me. We appreciate your service on this tale and story. Thank you very much. A wondrous thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that just brings the end of the stream for today, my glorious friends. It's been a wonderful week. Shall be back on Monday. We've got Skyrim and we've got Split Fiction with the one and only Nagura on Monday afternoon. It should be a fun old day. I look forward to seeing you there. For everyone else, goodbye, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody. Where's my button? There it is.